The invitation was on her fridge for 6 months. She'd bought the dress, booked the flight. She was the sister of the groom. And then, 11 days before the wedding, a text. One text from her mother. That said, "We think it's best if you don't come." No explanation. No call. Just, don't come. So Reddit user Callie_NW posted one question to the internet. Am I the villain? If I show up anyway? The internet answered. And what happened next broke open a secret this family had been keeping for years. This post hit AITA on a Friday night. By Saturday morning, it had crossed 60,000 upvotes and been cross-posted to our relationship status, our raised by narcissists, and our wedding shaming. The comment section reads like a courtroom. People are picking sides. Lawyers are chiming in. A wedding planner commented with a story that's almost identical. This one stayed with me for days, because it isn't really about a wedding. It's about what families bury and what happens when someone refuses to stay buried. Callie is 27. Her brother, Dominic, is 31 and getting married to a woman named Priya. On paper, this should be a happy occasion. But Callie's post opens with a line that tells you everything. My family has always had a favorite. It isn't me. She describes growing up in a house where Dominic could do no wrong, good grades celebrated, bad decisions quietly forgiven. While Callie's achievements were met with what she calls polite indifference, her acceptance into a nursing program, her mother said, "Oh, that's nice. Dominic just got promoted." She doesn't frame this with anger in the post. She's clinical about it. Detached, like she made peace with the hierarchy a long time ago and just learned to live beneath it. That restraint is what makes the next part hit so hard. 11 days before the wedding, no warning, no argument, no falling out she could point to. Her mother sends that text. And when Callie calls to ask why, her mother doesn't pick up. Neither does Dominic. Neither does her aunt, who she's always been close to. The whole family goes dark. At once. Organized silence. That's not a misunderstanding. That's a decision. Callie's post is long, detailed. She explains that the wedding is in her hometown at a venue she helped pick. She had a +1. She'd already taken the week off work. She'd sent a gift. And now she's asking Reddit, if I show up in my dress with my ticket at the venue, am I in the wrong? The comments erupt immediately, and they split into two camps. Camp 1 says, don't go. It will cause a scene. It's their day. Even if you're right, you'll become the story. Camp 2, and this is the majority, says something more interesting. They say, the fact that your entire family coordinated to cut you out 11 days before a wedding with zero explanation means this isn't about the wedding at all. And you deserve to know what it's actually about. One comment with 22,000 upvotes reads, and I'm paraphrasing, they're not uninviting you. They're hiding something. And the wedding is just the event they needed you absent for. Callie reads that comment, and she starts to think. Callie starts making calls. Not to her family, they aren't answering. But to people adjacent to the family, her cousin. A childhood friend who's still in the hometown. The neighbor who's known them for 20 years. And piece by piece, a picture assembles. It turns out Dominic and Priya's wedding has a guest list that includes their father as new wife. Their father, who walked out when Callie was 9 and Dominic was 13. Who missed years of birthdays and school events. Who Callie has had almost no contact with since childhood. Dominic, apparently, had quietly reconciled with their father over the past 2 years. Their mother knew. Their aunt knew. The whole family had been navigating this reunion, and no one had told Callie. Because they knew how she'd react. Because unlike Dominic, Callie remembers exactly what their father did when he left. And she had made it clear, years ago, that she wanted no part of a relationship with him. So instead of having a conversation with her, instead of giving her the chance to decide how she felt, they made the decision for her. They cut her out of the wedding to avoid the confrontation. She wasn't uninvited because of anything she'd done. She was uninvited because the truth was inconvenient. Callie posts an update the day before the wedding. She's going. Not to cause a scene. Not to confront her father at the altar. She writes, "I'm going because I love my brother. I'm going because I helped plan this wedding. I'm going because no one gets to rewrite my place in my own family without at least looking me in the eye." Reddit goes into overdrive. People are refreshing her profile. Someone starts a thread just to track updates. The anticipation is enormous. She arrives at the venue in her dress, the green one she'd bought 3 months ago. She walks in. She is seated by an usher who doesn't know she's been uninvited, because of course the usher doesn't know. Her mother sees her from across the room. Go still. Her aunt actually starts to cry. And Dominic, her brother, the groom, walks over to her before the ceremony begins. The Reddit update describes this moment in 4 sentences. He sat down next to her. He didn't say she shouldn't be there. He said, "I should have called you. I'm sorry." That was it. 4 words that cracked something open. She stayed for the ceremony. She left before the reception. She did not speak to her father. She did not make a scene. But she was there. And they all knew it. Callie's final update comes 2 weeks after the wedding. Dominic calls her. A real call, over an hour long. He tells her about the father reconciliation. All of it. She listens. She doesn't say she forgives him yet, but she listens. Her mother has not called. Her aunt sent a message that Callie describes as an almost apology. And Callie writes something in that final update that I've been thinking about ever since. She says, "If I hadn't gone, they would have gotten away with it. The silence would have just become the new normal. I would have become the family member who couldn't handle things. The story would have been written without me. I went because I refused to let them write me out." The Reddit community, 60,000 of them, voted unanimously. NTA. Not the villain. Not even close. But more than that, they gave her something no family vote had ever given her: permission to take up space. There's a reason this story hit the way it did. It isn't just about a wedding. It's about every time a family made a decision about you without you. Every time the peace of a gathering was more important than your truth. A lot of you know exactly what that feels like. So I want to ask you something in the comments. Has your family ever excluded you to avoid a difficult conversation? What happened? Did you show up or did you stay home? I read every single response. If this is your first time here, this channel exists for exactly these stories. The ones that are messy and human and real. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And if someone in your life needed to hear what Callie figured out, that showing up is sometimes the most radical thing you can do, send this to them. I'll see you in the next one.